have fixed everything?
Let's find out. We're going to watch and see. Is this the new one?
We are live. It says we are live.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's the current one and not the. If it's got a countdown on it, that's the old link.
I love how there's gonna be like 5 live streams.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay. I can fix it. Pretty sure I can get it. Okay, this is it. No,
all right. Are we good? I'm gonna wave and check and see.
Oh, we look fantastic.
We're good. All right. We are good. Third time's the charm. We'll put that in the Discord for people. All right. Give everybody a second to get in here. I don't know what that was all about.
Well, guys, not only are
just the restream needed to be closed. And,
restream servers are apparently crashing.
Who knows? Whatever. We got to fix now.
Awesome.
Let's start this over. Reptar, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was awful. Okay, moving on. Anyway, guys, what is going on? We have a lot to talk about for what's been going on with Bitcoin markets, Japan, Michael Saylor, all kinds of stuff today to talk about, guys. So first of all, what happened over Thanksgiving weekend? Why are we crashing? What is going on? We had quite a bit. We had another large dip last night. And as you guys know, we start every show with the bubbles. So we'll get those up.
So yeah, we dipped down yesterday to 83.
Brutal, guys.
Yeah,
brutal.
I'll pull that up here in just a minute. Let me pull up the bubbles for us.
Yeah, guys.
This whole thing has got me discombobulated. There's the bubbles.
We had a bit of a slow morning.
I don't know. Something either Restream needed to reset or YouTube needed to reset or who knows. But let us get on with it. Here comes the bubbles. Bubbles, my bubbles. Ooh. Look at that. Wait. I thought we had a huge mega crash yesterday.
We did. However, we are seeing a bit of a resurgence, guys.
Bitcoin's up 6%.
Yes. So, guys, we have reclaimed 90,000. So, yes, we had a crazy crash over the past few days, but we went right back to our support level back at 90,000. Altcoins obviously followed. We're seeing some pretty big rebounds on some of our favorite projects. We got Render, Pengu, Ondo.
Crow's up 12, Aster's up 11, H-Bar's up 7. What could you have gotten H-Bar at? H-Bar went all the way down to 1305.
Ooh, guys, wild. And what's insane, too, is a lot of our AI picks from our AI video are doing pretty well, too. Like, you got Near up 11% and Render up 10%. Render has been getting crushed lately, but they are...
we do have some link news for ICE later.
Ooh, ICE will be excited to see this. But yeah, guys, it's the holiday season. That is part of it, Mr. Gray, definitely. But there were some pretty big events that happened over the past few days that kind of caused this quick liquidation of price. And, we're still in extreme fear, guys. The markets are definitely in a nervous position right now. But this is, again, one of the best times to be buying these assets.
Look at this. So each one of these is an hour. So this is why can't I need this off? Get off my screen. I don't want your stupid AI. Get off my screen.
I like my little Phantom AI. Works. Does the job.
All right, so this was November the 30th at 6 p.m. Universal UDT daylight time, or Universal Standard Time. I don't know, whatever we used to call it, whatever the prime meridian is, whatever. So we started up here at 91, and then 7 o'clock, it went all the way from 91 all the way down to 87. We'll talk about why here in just a minute. We cascaded all the way down on the 1st of December, 10 a.m. So what was that? That's a 13-hour period. We went all the way down to 83. Actually, over here, 80.
It scared a lot of people, guys. That's why you see that one long wick and then the following shorter wicks. Those are the people panic selling towards the bottom after they see that massive crash. And then we
right there.
immediately almost retrace back to those levels.
So this was yesterday at 10 a.m. This is today at 10 a.m.
Yep, and it was an interesting 24-hour period, guys. And you know, everyone's big question is: are we going to go up from here, or are we going to continue to crash?
Now, this is interesting. Even with that crash yesterday, we are still not down to the fear we were at last week.
Yeah, it is. We were much lower, and I think it's because people saw this price resurgence. I'm sure if you looked at the fear and greed index while everything was crashing, I'm sure it probably would have been a little bit lower than that. But yeah, last week we were in extreme fear at 15. But yeah, so you know the markets are definitely in a precarious position right now, and people are wondering, you know, what are things going to go lower? One thing that I wanted to bring up. We're about around the same levels. So this is a pretty big. I'm gonna go ahead and share this, JC. But there is
let me turn mine off real quick.
There was an interesting topic that was being discussed. So MicroStrategy, openly admitting that if Bitcoin falls below a certain level, that they are going to be selling. Not all of their Bitcoin, obviously, but they're going to be selling to avoid losses. So what does this mean, like, for the markets? Like, what would this cause to happen? So I saw this I was reading this interesting little article. Obviously, if we fall to those prices, JC, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he said 74,000. If we fall below 74,000, he said they would openly sell.
They may have to, because that's their average price per Bitcoin now. I didn't see his direct quote. I've just seen people talking about it. And initially, people were reporting Strategy says they're going to sell Bitcoin, and the response was no. They said there are scenarios in place where they have decided they will if they need to. They didn't say they were going to. They said, look, if this happens, we might have to sell some.
Exactly. And guys, at the end of the day, MicroStrategy is a business. They're trying to make their investors money. And, you know, this is a perfect example of, you know, they essentially sell credit, and they back that credit through Bitcoin. And, you know, they need to keep the asset to be able to, you know, continue. But they actually just launched purchases of USDC, I believe. You know, it was this whole thing where he was teasing green dots. MicroStrategy shows all of their buys using orange dots with Bitcoin. Now they're starting to buy, you know, the US dollar essentially, which is interesting. But my point in bringing this up to you guys is if we do fall to the 74,000 level, this would probably immediately get us around a 20% dip. I see that happening. You know, they own a lot.
That would put us around 60.
Yeah, that it would really kind of drag the markets down. And then because of this, we could see, as we have in the past, these liquidity cascades where, you know, people just keep getting liquidated, people keep selling, and we could see a dip as far as 50% if that were to happen.
Let's be clear. The only way that you can get auto liquidated is if you are leveraged.
Yeah.
They're talking about a larger liquidation. Like MicroStrategy as a company can liquidate some of their assets voluntarily. Like they're not leverage trading Bitcoin. But in that sense, as a business, if you liquidate some assets, that just means you sell them for cash.
Yeah.
However, in the trading world, if you are leverage trading, liquidation means the broker that you are leverage trading with sells your shares for you because they need to get their money back. So that don't confuse the two.
But they are
MicroStrategy liquidating their assets does not mean they are leverage trading Bitcoin and getting liquidated.
Exactly. So, and what that they kind of do affect each other as far as price goes, because what happens is these large companies will sell, causing the price to quickly move in one direction or the other, whether it's
which causes leveraged people to get liquidated.
Which causes this cascade effect of price action, which is kind of a part of the reason what we saw.
Well, and then the exchanges don't have enough of that particular asset or enough cash to buy the asset or enough asset to sell the asset. And yeah.
And so guys, do I think Bitcoin's going to fall to 47,000 or 74,000? They're going to have to sell. I don't, because we crashed to 84 and it almost immediately rebounded.
Yeah. Let me put that back up.
So much bullish sentiment in the markets right now.
Why did it?
So many ETFs, still some, positive support. I don't think it's going to come to that. But if, and that wasn't that a little announcement wasn't what tanked the markets, just to be clear.
I want to
it's adding to the speculation, to the fear, but there is like an overall reason for why this happened over the weekend. So we can get into that here now.
Yeah, this is it. This is the reason, because it wasn't just the Bitcoin markets, it was all markets. They all crashed, and this is why. Japan announced that they would be considering raising their interest rates out of nowhere. It was not like we talk about how the U.S., the Fed Reserve, does their interest rates. Like we talk about that months in advance. Japan on Saturday announced this. And this is, I had to look this up because this happened. I was like, this happened before, didn't it? Last year, July, August 2024, Japan's interest rates were almost at zero, and they raised them surprisingly. Like, again, it was not, when we hear about rates rising or falling or whatever, that price gets baked in over time. That when it happens unexpectedly, you get wild market reactions. For example, if the Fed came out next week and said, you know what, we're going to drop interest rates by 75 basis points. 25 basis points is likely. 75 basis points would surprise the crap out of everyone, and we would see a huge market response because it's a surprise. Same thing happened over the weekend, but I want to say this is why I think this. In 2024, they announced a rate hike on July 1st from near zero to 0.25%. So 25-point raise of their rates. This impacted their market, the single largest fall in the Japanese market since 1987. This is the part I want to highlight because this is what's happened again. The primary driver was the unwinding of the yen carry trade, which involves borrowing in low interest yen to invest elsewhere. So the rate hike forced investors to rapidly exit those positions, causing a massive and sudden influx of yen back into Japan. This was basically a long squeeze. People were borrowing yen because the interest rate was zero, and they were putting it into other yield assets, right? You borrow money from your bank at 2% so you can invest it at 8%, right? That's what they did with the Japanese yen, their currency. Well, when they raised the rates, and I'm talking, like Fidelity, BlackRock, all these people were like, oh crap, we're going to have to start paying a higher interest rate than what we were paying. We need to sell out of those positions. Well, if you have a lot of people selling, what happens? Market go down. Same thing happened yesterday.
And so in layman's terms, what does this all mean, guys? Essentially, Japan was getting very low yields from a lot of the treasuries and bonds that they were holding. So they borrowed a bunch of money to buy U.S. treasuries and get in other types of bonds to get real return on their assets. And now that they are starting to get more yield on their own, and with the rates and everything and the rate change, they're starting to pull money out of U.S. assets and putting them back into kind of their own markets. So in layman's terms, that's essentially what happened. And again, as JC said, if there was a 75 basis points announcement today out of nowhere, the markets would react pretty heavily to that. So,
and then a day later they would recover because they've digested the new information.
Exactly. So,
which is what we see here.
Yeah, we're just seeing short-term price swings, guys, with, because we're in a very uncertain time right now.
Look, if you panic sold, look what happened. If you panic sold, look what happened. Yeah. The bottom of this candle was, what did we say, 10 a.m. yesterday?
Imagine if you shorted that candle all the way down and then longed it all the way up, though.
Right? Yeah, the bottom of this is the 10 a.m. yesterday candle. So if you sold yesterday at 10 a.m. down at 83, we're back up almost 7,000. We're almost crazy 10% up.
It literally prints a reverse head and shoulders pattern right there at the end.
Yeah. So this would be your head. These would be your two shoulders. And look, we're back to where we started.
Yeah. DJ would be proud.
I know. We're learning.
Yeah. But yeah, so one other thing I kind of wanted to bring up also that I thought was really interesting. This is kind of a little bit off topic, but it goes more along with the, are we going into a bear market? Like, what do we think that price is going to crash further from here? I don't think so, because there's so much excitement in the markets as far as the ETFs, as far as these big investors, all these big partnerships coming out. We're seeing real world adoption. The Clarity Act is still coming. We have hundreds of ETFs. Like, it would be strange to me for us to go into a cycle. And the thing is, even if we do go into a bear market, the technology is what is interesting to me. How everything is going to become decentralized. The idea of this being a new form of money, and more importantly, a store of value as far as energy. That's really interesting to me. So to me, the technology is what matters, not so much the day-to-day price. But I wanted to, Elon Musk actually spoke about kind of what I'm getting at here with, why Bitcoin's important and why I think it's going to be a long-term, kind of, it really is a technology that's going to change every industry. And I think this is a really good way to look at it. So I just wanted to share this clip really fast with you guys.
Currencies, if you will, that are physics-based. So energy is the true currency. This is why I said Bitcoin is based on energy. You can't legislate energy. You can't just, pass a law and suddenly have a lot of energy. It's very difficult to generate energy, or especially to harness energy in a useful way to do useful work. So I think that probably we won't have money, and probably we'll just have energy, power generation as the de facto currency. Currencies, if you will, that are physical.
So we've talked about this a couple times on the show about like why crypto is even valuable in the first place, and it really comes down to energy. A lot of these cryptos, especially Bitcoin, they need to be mined. They require energy to solve the algorithm to send transactions, and that is the real value behind them. And energy is the most important resource that we have. So to me, a currency backed by energy just makes sense. And I don't think it's going anywhere. Yes, the big boys are going to, manipulate price. They're going to do whatever they can. We're going to see these countries and different market makers swing the price and do what they can, manipulate, do what they do best. But, I think the technology is still here to stay. And I do still think that, a lot of the price targets that we've been talking about for a lot of these projects are still coming, whether we see that this cycle or whether, we go into a year of a bear market and then we start the slow climb back up. So.
Yeah, sorry, I'm deleting or editing titles and thumbnails our earlier bad connection stuff, just so people don't accidentally click on the wrong thing. Think this sucks, because it did. So let me.
Because it did.
It was garbage, y'all. Okay, cool. These are all done because we have 4 attempts, and the live one is good. And I don't want because I don't want the same thumbnail showing up 4 times.
No,
Right, we got that. Got that fixed. Get out of that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree with that, Reptar. Absolutely, 100%. I know there are people who do technical analysis that are saying, look, guys, according to technical analysis, we are in a bear market. Okay, maybe. Do I think we go down from here or up from here? I do personally follow the idea that the cycle is adjusted based on the money cycle is switched from a 4-year to a 5-year cycle. So I think it's reasonable that Bitcoin might switch to a 5-year cycle, or crypto in general. We'll see. If we do drop down, I don't think it's for long, and I don't think it's as bad. But I could be wrong. I 100% could be wrong. No one knows.
And that's the thing, guys. There's no real way to tell, but when I see things, there's very simple indicators, especially with all this stuff being adopted. And on top of that, it doesn't really matter if you're in this the long term. Like, this technology is here to stay, and the price is long term going to go up. It always has in the past, and when you accumulate an extreme fear, you do just fine. So, yeah,
I definitely it either keep stacking or at the very least just hodl. Because we're looking at, this is the odds for the rate hike next Wednesday, sorry. So 87.2% chance that we will go down 25 basis points. Let's take a look at January, what the odds are there. The odds favor, right now, the odds favor no cut. So this is what we're going to cut to in December. So the odds are that there's no cut in January, but a 25% chance of another basis point cut. So what's that? 350, 375. Let's see what we got in March.
Mr. Gray, I like that. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's very much the Raoul Pal way of saying, viewing things, Mr. Gray, that it's following the debt refinancing schedule, which the last video we did before the break was basically Moon Lambo breaking down Raoul Pal's extensive thesis on the everything code and the debt cycle and the money cycle. And I think that is the most comprehensive view that I can easily understand. So it does make sense to me. What other news do we have today? Yeah, we did that. Let's go here. You already did that one. All right, so that means I can go into Grayscale. Is that the one? No, we'll finish with those. Here's this. I just want to point this out. And obviously, we've looked at the chart. This is even more recently. We're back over 90,000. Yeah. It's just, it took a day for the markets to digest the Japanese interest rate change. We'll go here. Paul Atkins, this is nice.
Digesting his Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah, I believe it's RAUL. Something like that. RAOUL. I don't know.
Raoul
Pal. I just say it like this. Raoul Pal.
Raoul Pal.
You can tell I'm from the South. So, yeah, here we go. Paul Atkins, the SEC chairman, announced on CNBC, this was this morning from Jack the Rippler, that the innovation exemption for crypto firms like Ripple will be implemented in January. I have another. Is that here?
XRP will lead the new financial system. It is the chosen one.
Here's a more generic headline for this. SEC expects crypto exemption in a month or so. That is if they don't shut the government down again in January. But they're looking for an innovation exemption for cryptocurrencies. What I want it to say is capital gains tax, not innovation exemption. But anything good for thank you, ICE, for spelling that name correctly. I still say Raoul Pal.
Raoul Pal.
But yeah, so I mean, this is good for the cryptocurrencies. So hopefully, it's good for us downstream who own the cryptocurrencies. But that remains to be seen. Still, that's good news for crypto. Right here.
And that's the thing. That's why it's so hard for me to believe that we're actually in a bear market or moving into one, because there's just so much adoption. There's so much bullish news. There's so many big financial entities offering it now. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, market manipulation is the only answer that actually makes sense.
Yeah. And we obviously we saw the catalyst for the last 2 days. We saw it. That's okay. Now we're back. This is for ICE and all the Link people. Grayscale's Chainlink Trust ETF is now live on the New York Stock Exchange. Boom.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. Another ETF going live for Link.
Chainlink.
Crypto.
But yeah, we're going down. Like,
But price go down. Why?
Price go down.
Manipulation. In a word.
Okay, here. This is a. I just showed that one. I don't need that one. Yep, we just did that one. I did that one. Here we go. So Vanguard, moderately sized investment firm. I think they're in the top 3. I know they're not BlackRock.
I think they also said, or maybe it was Fidelity, I could be wrong, that we will never have a crypto ETF. I think this.
I'm sure. JP Morgan.
Him too, all of them, but yeah. So it's just it's really funny to see these updates. Like, it really is. Like,
but here's the XRP ETF lineup that you can get from Vanguard. Like, you can, if Vanguard manages your investments, if your investment portfolio is with Vanguard, you may purchase any of these ETFs. The one from Bitwise, ProShares, Canary, Franklin, Templeton, CoinShares, Rex Osprey. You can buy them all. You can buy all of them together on your Vanguard account.
They're just making it easier and giving people more of a reason to own these assets. And that's why I think that I'd be very surprised if this cycle, and even if it is the end of the cycle, we're only going to see about a year of blood in the markets. And then things are going to slowly start rising back up as we move into the next cycle. So again, accumulation is really the only thing you can do in a situation like this, guys. Yep.
Here's Algorand making moves, just so you know. This is all in crypto. You guys know I watch him every day. Tom Lee is bullish on, says he's thinking that the S&P is going to get up to 7,000 by the end of the year. As long as Kramer doesn't say that, we'll be okay. Here we go. This is big news right here. The Fed has officially, as of yesterday, ended its 3.5-year period of shrinking its balance sheet while quietly injecting $13.5 billion into the banking system using overnight repo operations, effectively ending quantitative tightening. They just now, yesterday, December the 1st or November 30th, ended quantitative tightening. This not government, not reserve, just a central bank that controls all of the money supply and the interest rates for the entire country, just now decided that they are going to stop quantitative tightening.
And what is quantitative tightening? We've heard of quantitative easing, which I assume quantitative tightening would be the opposite of that. But for anyone in the chat who doesn't know,
we'll let Google AI answer that for you. Is quantitative tightening,
in a word, inflation.
It's a monetary policy where a central bank, full stop, central bank, not the government, not the people, a central bank, reduces the money supply in the economy in order to curb inflation.
So the reason this is important is because for the past 4 years, we've seen what has been known as quantitative easing, which is a fancy way of saying we're going to print more money and cause more inflation. So quantitative tightening is the opposite of that, is reducing the money supply, therefore reducing inflation. Yeah. Which, if you know anything about how that works, price go up. So why is price going down? Very strange. Everything is in place for the perfect storm, for the perfect bull run, and price is still going down. So
yeah. So in the past,
market manipulation.
Exactly. In the past, as money comes in, as quantitative easing happens, as people get stimulus checks or COVID checks or whatever, more money flows into risk-on investments. People want to use that money to make money. As interest rates go down, big companies and businesses and wealthy individuals want to borrow more money so that they can invest it at higher interest rates into higher interest yield earning projects, riskier projects. We're seeing just now, even though we've already run Bitcoin up to 125,000, now December 2025, we're seeing, okay, we're gonna turn off quantitative tightening and quantitative easing is coming. We're gonna start injecting money into the economic ecosystems of the country and the world. We're also going to be lowering rates. Every time that's happened in the past, markets have gone up and gone up a lot. Why should now be different?
You know, I think that's a great point, JC, and I completely 100% agree. I think, you know, a lot of big money is in the markets now. We didn't have this any other cycle, and now they are trying to do what everyone should be doing right now, which is accumulate as much as possible at these prices, which they're in a way causing these prices so they can buy at a cheaper price, because we're seeing all this over-the-counter trading. We're seeing, you know, a lot of, you know, ETFs coming, and you know, it's interesting to me that, you know, it's just, it doesn't make any sense, guys. There's only one explanation, and that's they want the price as low as possible, because look what happens every single time there is a dip. There is massive, it just completely rebounds, and the candles are just eaten right up. So, you know, people are buying, and you know,
who's buying, you might ask? Wintermute, Binance, a huge whale wallet, Coinbase, BitMEX, Bitfinex, they all bought down here. That's why we're back up, because they bought a lot.
Guys, the whales are buying. Binance, you know, love it or hate it, it's one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world. They are worth so much. And I completely agree. This is coordinated manipulation. It has been, you know, 6 months. You know, ever since we hit 125,000 and we just started climbing down. You think these institutions wanted to buy Bitcoin at 125,000? No, they'd much rather buy it at 83,000. I mean,
so they can make 50% when it goes back to all-time highs here at the end of the year.
And that's why alts are getting absolutely destroyed right now. Because,
but they are not. ETH is back over, like everything's back up. Bitcoin is pushing 91. ETH is,
yes.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah. In general, yes.
Right now, markets are climbing back. So
yes.
But it was a little scary if you didn't really know what was going on. But again, guys, this is why you cannot let these quick price movements shake you out of the market, because that's exactly what they are, is quick price movements.
Zoom out, know the macroeconomic conditions not just of the crypto market, just the general, just the world. I didn't know this stuff 4 years ago. Okay. I have been learning a lot, but I go to places where the people know more than me and I learn. I don't pretend to know anything other than supply demand econ 101 stuff. But I can go listen to people that do understand this stuff, and those people that can explain it to a dummy like me so that I can understand it. I find them, I follow them, and I try and learn.
And, you know, that's a big reason, you know, we started the Discord, guys. You know, we have, you know, have a group of thousands of people that, you know, kind of share information with each other. You know, we all talk about different things that are going on.
Yeah, you got Ice and Mr. Gray here bringing their expertise, because I don't have time to research Arrow or Link or like I can keep up with a few projects, but I can't research everything. No one can. And so we get together as a community and be like, hey, I like this and this is why. Or, oh, did you guys see that this was being manipulated? Maybe we need to get out of that.
Yeah. It helps when you have a team, guys. And that's exactly, you know, why we've been able to be successful in this and you know, why we're trying to stay on top of things for you guys, because it helps a lot. You know, when you know what's going on in the markets, it's a lot easier to make informed decisions on what you're going to do, especially when we're in a time like this where, you know, people are scared, people are nervous.
Bitcoin's over 91.
Let's go. Do you think we're going to hit, do you think we're going to climb back 100K? Think we can by the end of the week?
I think we got to get through 92 and then 94 first.
I think we're going to 100K by the end of the week, guys.
End of the week. You heard it. Reptar called it.
I've learned nothing.
This is a good time to say that neither of us give financial advice, and you should definitely not make any financial decisions for your life based on anything we say.
Especially not 250x leverage.
Yeah. All right. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow, and we'll see where everything is then.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have some more good news to talk about, guys. But thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, liquidity and
zoom out. So if in case it was not just me where Reptar's audio glitched, so when in doubt, zoom out. And that's right. Look at the liquidity heat map. And Mr. Gray is 100% right. A community of people talking, or a community of people taking looks at different things at different times and building a wide perspective. Come join us. Links in the description. Oh, there you go. Boom. Thank you. I forgot we could do that.
I love it. Love it. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Appreciate all of you guys that showed up for the chat. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning. Yep. And we will see you guys for
do us a favor. Give this video a thumbs down because of all the technical difficulties.
And tomorrow it'll be much better, and we'll be announcing game night. Got some fun
game
stuff.
Night. Let's go. We're back. Have a great Tuesday.
Trivia, perhaps.
Chompy, take us out of here. Woo, we need to talk about some other side and Amazon details. Bye. Just gonna leave that there.